Hi, shalom friends. One of the words in the English language, which in my opinion is highly abused, is the word nothing. As in, you go home and you open up the refrigerator and you look at every single tray that's filled with food and you say, there's nothing to eat. As in, you stand in front of your wardrobe, hanging clothes all over the place, and you say, I have nothing to wear. As in, you're in a home that has books, internet, computer, and thousands, literally thousands of things to occupy you, and you say, I have nothing to do. And finally, as in, after a weekend, and you come to the office, what this one tells you he went bicycle riding, and this one did bungee jumping, you said, I did nothing. When in reality, you had a 48-hour relaxing weekend. So I think that the word nothing is abused, if nothing less than that. But I would tell you that the word nothing is abused even, or can be used inappropriately, even in a spiritual sense. A well-known Kabbalistic teaching is that God is Yesh, God is the true substance, and everything else is Ayin, nothing. Just the appearance of something, but it's really nothing, it's all God. A well-known story of the third Rabbi of Chabad. He had two Hasidim, we'll call one Beryl, the other one Shmuel, and Beryl owes Shmuel 100 rubles. So Shmuel says to Beryl, no, it's already time. And Beryl says to Shmuel, you know what, we're both Hasidim, we both know the truth. Only God counts, only God is real. Everything else is nothing. And therefore, we have plenty of time to pay back. Now, Shmuel, listening to this, is trying to think, you can't really disagree with the statement, but is it correct that in this world where you need rubles to buy provisions, is it correct just to go back and say everything is nothing? So he waited a month and came back. He said, Beryl, I really need my rubles. To which Beryl says to Shmuel, Shmuel, you're a chassid. It's nothing. So he says, you know what? I can't disagree with you. Let's go to the Rabbi. Maybe in his wisdom he could resolve this issue. So they come in front of the Rabbi, and Beryl admits that he owes Shmuel the 100 rubles, but says, Rabbi, after all, it's all nothing anyway. To which the Rabbi said, correct. And then had two husky Hasidim come in. When they came into the office, the Rabbi turned to the two Hasidim and pointing at Beryl, he says, gentlemen, take this nothing, and pointing to the table, and put it on this nothing, and then showing them a rope, and take this nothing and tie the nothing to the nothing, and then taking off a belt, and take this nothing and hit that nothing which is tied with nothing on the nothing with 39 nothings. And the Hasidim proceed to do so. And while Beryl is on this table, he says, Rabbi, please stop it. What are you doing? You're going to beat me up? And the Rabbi wisely said, it's all nothing. Okay, well, Beryl paid back. So the word nothing actually needs an elaboration. And I think what we're really saying when we say the word nothing is nothing of significance. Nothing, then you add, of interest. Nothing that calls my attention to it. So you're looking at the food. It's not that there's nothing to eat. There's nothing that interests you. You're looking at the table. You're looking at the wardrobe. There's nothing that you're excited to wear. There's nothing when you spent an entire weekend doing nothing. What it simply means is there was not much significance, not something that may be memorable. So what is something? What is nothing? This is not a well-known story, but it's one of the probably hundreds of thousands of anecdotes that actually came out from World War II. I just read this recently. I cannot remember the name, but it is a true story. It was related by a merchant marine. They had convoys going through the Atlantic, and as you know, the U-boats from Germany wreaked havoc, and tons and tons and tons and tens of thousands of tons of produce and of provisions went to the bottom of the Atlantic, and hundreds of lives. So the best that they could do was have a convoy. The merchant marine would go out with many ships laden with provisions to be brought to the Allies. They were surrounded by destroyers who were always on the lookout against these U-boats and submarines. And one day, as they're going, and actually the longer they're out in the open ocean, the more dangerous it is, they're suddenly given a command that the convoy should make a circle and circle around one of the destroyers. Now this was so completely incomprehensible, they had to have it a second time. First of all, the destroyers surround the merchant marine, not the civilian ships surround the destroyer. Number two, you don't do this in the middle of the ocean where the idea is speed and stealth. Most of all, you know how long they were circling this destroyer? For over 3 hours. No one was told the reason, and people were shrugging their shoulders. The Army, the Navy, they're crazy. Well, this one has a happy ending. After the 3 hours, they continue on the convoy and they make it, well, they make it unscathed. Later on, they found out something very interesting. That on the destroyer, one of the soldiers or sailors needed an emergency operation. There was an army medic, but he couldn't do the operation because there was so much turbulence in the sea that it was impossible to hold the scalpel and cut without really harming the person. On the other hand, not doing the emergency operation would have meant certain death. You know what they did? They had the merchant marine, they had the civilian ships go around in a circle for 3 hours to create a breakwater, to minimize some of the waves crashing, and that stabilized it a little bit, enough to save the man's life. Now I want to ask you a question. If you would have been that sailor, 3 hours in the middle of the Atlantic, going around in a circle, besides the usual of this is crazy, it's incomprehensible, someone would ask you, what were you doing for 3 hours? A possible response would have been, nothing. Absolutely nothing. 3 hours in a circle, nothing. But it wasn't nothing. They did not know that something of great significance was taking place. Their going around in a circle for 3 hours was saving life. So, my friends, when it comes to Torah, when it comes to mitzvahs, when it comes to good deeds, when it comes to positive thought, when it comes to wonderful, uplifting words, when it comes to compassion, when it comes to small things in life, and someone says, okay, what did you do today? You say, nothing. And you shrug your shoulders, think about it. Nothing? Oh, nothing of significance? Says who? Perhaps you've accomplished a great deal. The Holy Torah that was given to us is filled with a lot of details, a lot of small things, a lot of sometimes insignificant things, whether it be that good morning or the quarter in the charity box, or whether it even be looking and acknowledging the mezuzah on your doorpost. These small things are not nothing at all. They are things of great significance. May God give us the ability to continue to do deeds of great significance, even though in our eyes they might seem like nothing. Shalom.